Hey everyone, I'm Mine, and this is set number 80013, Monkey Kid's Team Secret HQ from the LEGO Monkie Kid theme. This set contains 1,959 pieces, 7 minifigures, 1 big fig, and 1 cat, and retails for $169.99 in the US. This set was sent to me by the LEGO group through the LEGO Ambassador Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. So here is the Team Secret HQ itself, and if you guys watch my unboxing of the set, you'll know I was not too excited for it. I decided to get it because I'm reviewing Monkey Kid on this channel now, and it was like the flagship set of the first wave, and it is like their main base in the show, so I thought it would be a good one to get. But based on official pictures and whatnot, I just wasn't that excited for it. But having it in hand, I'll gladly admit, I was completely wrong about this set. This set is excellent. It's one of my favorite playsets in years. Like, genuinely, from any theme, it's just an amazing playset. I love how it manages to be a vehicle and also have tons of interior. Unlike things like the Destiny's Bounty from Ninjago, which definitely get downscaled for sets, I feel like this is almost to scale to the show. Obviously, I know it's a lot bigger in the show, but I don't feel like anything is missing here. Like, there's pretty much everything I could ask for from this set in this build. And that's just super impressive. So let's just go through it all one by one. So we're going to talk first about the exterior of the build, starting with the very front right here. You can see there's some stacks of tires right here. This one has a crab on it, which is pretty cute. There's a stack of Pigsy's noodles right here, which you can see is the stickered part. But this entire front section with a crab is actually a play feature. So you pull in this part right here to move this little turret out. That'll actually shoot the 6-stud stud shooter. So when you just turn the crab, you can see the studs pop off. This is incorporated into the build so well, it hides away so nicely and it like doesn't take away from the build at all. And the transition to get it from in here to up here is like really smooth as well. I love that play feature, it's really well done. Out the front you can see there's some stickered pieces just to show that there's wear and tear on the vehicle. Here you have a little stickered piece of Mo, which is super cute. There's some orange traffic cones. I think this is maybe supposed to be like a fire extinguisher, though I'm not sure on that. A little air conditioning unit up here. There's some tires hanging off the side of the boat, that's just a cool piece of detail. These aren't connected to anything, they're just stuck on this chain. It's just an interesting connection technique, I like that. A stickered piece right here which says 09, it's got Sandy's symbol. A bit of a roller coaster track right here just for some texture and detailing. And then you come to these stairs which take you to the upper level. This upper level is just full of studs and open space, and I absolutely love that. There's so much room to pose figures, you can fit so many figures on here. But the most important thing is, you can actually fit Sandy on here. Obviously in the show this was originally Sandy's boat, but big figs are, as the name implies, big, so a lot of times they don't fit on builds. But no, this was designed so Sandy can fit in quite a few different places, and he can like navigate this just like the other minifigures can. And I think that's so cool that they actually incorporated that. And it's very impressive they managed to make a set this big to actually fit him. So a lot of times big figs just feel left out, they don't fit into the normal builds. So the fact that he can and he's not like crammed in anywhere, that's awesome to me. You've got a green trash can up here, another one of those stickered Pigsy's noodle boxes. This is the same as the other one I showed you. Over here there's a little garden, you can see there's a little bit of graffiti that says M-Kid, there's a little peach logo, and the garden itself just has some flowers, some sprouting plants. Behind that in this yellow crate you can see there's a warning label, I guess telling you not to touch the electric wires, I guess these right here. These stickered parts which just say monkey, this is so funny. I think this is so funny and I love it. I think this might be like a large radar or speaker at the top. And then you come to this large crane station up here. There's a little ladder to climb up and then there's this large platform right here. The platform itself has a little Monkey Kid logo drawn on right here. And then when you move up, you can see there's a radar dish at the top and just an antenna coming out. And I believe the idea is that little station's meant to control this crane right here. This crane also is very tall when you move up. And it's got this chain hanging off, which has this little hook at the end. The entire crane can be rotated like 360 degrees. It can also be moved down to like grab something out of the ocean or off the dock. So if you want, you can have something attached to the end of the hook and then pull it right back up. I know when I was little, I loved playing with the crane pieces in LEGO. Something about them was just so much fun. So it's cool to see they're still using those parts nowadays. And I like this play feature. I think it's very fun. Very versatile because there's a pretty large range of motion of like where you can put this crane. It does make the overall build very tall, but personally I don't mind it that much. The control station is a stickered console piece in the middle, with a red button and a blue button. And as I mentioned, Sandy himself can actually fit up here. Like, it connects on just like that. And you can see he doesn't feel out of place at all. I love so much that this set was designed around his proportions instead of just like standard minifigure proportions. Because not only does it allow for a lot more room to just pose normal minifigures, but it allows Sandy to actually like be put on the set. He doesn't have to be like stored separately. And I absolutely love that. I think that's so cool that they did that. Moving now down the steps on the other side, lots of very similar things. We get to a red crate on this side, there's also those tires on the side again. Another one of those air conditioning units right here. And then we come back to the front where you can see that there's a large grate right here. So that way you can actually see into the interior. Speaking of the interior, let's start looking at the interior. So the first like access point for the interior is this right here. This is actually a little cat door for Mo. So as I just showed, if you push in right here, the door will actually open up. And that way you can have Mo slide right on in. And then when you're done, you push in at the top right here and that closes the door back up. Talking about other exterior entrances into the interior, there's a few more in the set. Obviously there's the cat door, which I just showed you, but there's also two at the back. These are like little trapdoors that open up right here. Those open up into like a little vehicle docking bay, which we'll take a closer look at in a little bit, but there's one of those on each side of the boat. But the main entrance and like the in-universe way that the minifigures would enter like the interior of this boat is this large yellow door right here on this big yellow crate. If you just pull up on this part right here, it'll actually open up the entire door, and that way you can allow minifigures to enter. This entrance can also fit Sandy, but not in a convenient way. You can't just have him walk in or go sideways in or anything. But if you put one arm up and one arm down, you can fit him through here. Which isn't the most convenient thing, but as I said, like, he is a big fig. Most big figs don't fit in sets in any way at all. So it's impressive that they made this set accommodate him as well as it did. So while I wish he could fit in here a little bit nicer, the fact that you could fit him in at all is really nice. And I still think what I just showed right there makes for fun play. But as I said, that's how the characters enter this interior in-universe. If you yourself want to view the interior, you can actually take apart parts of the build. So the first and easiest to take off is the yellow door right here. It connects with the top of this black crate. And if you pull up, this entire part could just come off. Underneath that, you can see this is the main control panel of the boat. Once again, we'll take a closer look at that in a moment when I take this more apart so I can get the camera in a little bit closer. But I just want to show real quick that Sandy himself can actually fit in there. And with Sandy in there, you can still close the build back up. So once again, they do a really good job of incorporating this so like the big fig actually works here. This is Sandy's boat. It makes sense that he can reach the control panel, and the fact that they took the care to like make it big enough so that he can, that's just awesome to me. I love that. But now let me show you all the other places where this comes apart. This yellow crate at the top, you can just take the roof off right here. That doesn't do much for you in terms of like extra space to play because it is like really deep, so you can't really like fit your fingers in there to like actually reach any minifigures. So this is more just a visual thing so that you can peek inside. But then you can also take off the front of this yellow crate, which is also connected to the roof of this blue crate. And that part just comes off like this. And that's the main crate area pretty much fully deconstructed. Lots of room in here. You could put Sandy in here. You could put the Monkey Kid mech that comes in the set in here. Like genuinely, this fits in on the floor right here. And if you want, you could close it back up with that in there. On the sides, there's also these walls that open up to allow you to dock some of the smaller vessels that come in this set. So you just lift these pieces up, and that, as I mentioned, not only gives you access to some of the interior, but if you take Pigsy's little boat or Mei's little boat from this set, you can fit that right in there, and then close this back up. So that's just a really nice storage location for it. And you can do the same thing on the other side, too. But you can undo this build even further. You can see these bars right here on the back of the boat. If you take those pieces off or just unclip them from one side, it allows you to actually like physically open up the center of the boat, and then separates it into 3 big parts. So obviously it's no longer a complete build like this, but now you have tons of play space and access to all of the interior that's like really easy to see. So let's go through each of these. So first we'll look at the control panel section, which is the smallest one. Above it, that's where the crane and everything is, but we already looked at that, so I'm not going to look at it again. I'm just going to show you the part that was hidden by the interior. Here you have the platform where Sandy or anybody else can stand, but obviously this is made for Sandy, so it's like proportioned to him. You have some stickered parts of just dials and switches and buttons and screens, though the one on the other side looks like it's playing Tetris, which is pretty funny. There's 2 little stickered console pieces directly in front of Sandy as well. And then behind where Sandy stands, it's actually a pretty large section to hold minifigures. You could probably fit every minifigure in this set in this one little section. Yeah, this part's fairly bare and open, but I mean, it's in the interior of a build. Like, I love that it has so much posable space. And the fact that Sandy himself can fit down here is awesome. Next, we'll look at what is the left side of the vehicle if you're looking at it from the front. Starting at the back, here's that little docking bay that I talked about. This is the side that I put Pigsy's vehicle in, but obviously they could be put on either side, or you can put your own little builds in there. But yeah, if I remove that, you can just see there's a little bit of open space right there to fit a small vehicle or a couple minifigures. There's a little tool shelf right here, which is normally like right next to Sandy's command station. And you'll notice that there's another one of these on the other side as well. Then we have a little living room area. This is super cute. It might be my favorite part of the set. You can see there's a bathroom on the side right here. There's this large net piece. A little cat house out here. This is where the door is that Mo entered through earlier in the video. And you can see this is where he landed. Obviously, if I'd showcase that again, but you guys can actually see the interior. He walks in through here, and he falls out the other side. The cat house is very cute. You can have Mo just sit outside it right here, or you can have him inside it. It makes this build feel very lived in. I think that's very funny. This little net right here is supposed to be like a hammock or bed for Sandy, I'm pretty sure. Because that's what they show in the official pictures of the set, is Sandy's just laying here like this. But I personally find it a little bit funnier to imagine it as just a large cat toy. And you can imagine Mo just playing on it like this to get back to the cat door. And that's the wonderful thing about LEGO, is you can imagine it as whatever you want, or even both. But I think that's a super cool part. I don't think I've ever gotten that net piece before. And it's just really cool to get here. I like it. Underneath that, there's a little chair, a coffee mug. I think this is probably supposed to be a TV remote. And then there's a TV right here, which if you look at that, it's got a stickered piece on it that says try again. Looks like they were playing Space Invaders or something. Sandy can fit in this section, but only if you move the net out of the way. And even if you do, it is still like a pretty tight fit. But I appreciate that the option is there, even if it's not like the best. Because again, like I know I keep saying it over and over, but the fact that this build incorporates like big figs so well is so impressive to me. Because I've literally never seen anything from LEGO like this. The most I've ever seen them do for a big fig is like give them one vehicle. So the fact that this is an entire huge build with interior that accommodates a big fig, that's just so cool to me. I think it's super well done. There's also the bathroom on the side, of course. You can see there's a sticker piece on it that says it's for men, women, and cats. And when you open it up, it's a bit difficult to see, so luckily you can actually remove the cat house on the top to get better access into the bathroom. And with that removed, you can see there's a toilet right here. This is a little sink with a faucet. There's a plunger over here. There's a little claw piece right there. And I believe that's probably supposed to be a litter box for Mo. I love cats, and as silly as this is, I really appreciate how much the set took the care to show that, hey, a cat actually lives here. There's not just a cat in the set, no, this is where the cat stays and lives. He's got a little cat house, he's got a litter box. It's a small thing, but it's a detail I just really appreciate. Moving next to the right side of the boat, you can see this is definitely not nearly as detailed as the other side, and that's because this is the area where obviously you're supposed to keep the mech. So without the mech in it, it does look pretty bare, but there is a few things here. There's a little tool shelf on the side as well as the other side of that grate. That sort of serves as a little window to peek out into the outside of the boat. There's a little stickered piece showcasing the Monkey Kid mech, as well as a little canister and pipe next to that. Above that, in the interior of the yellow crate, you can see there's another stickered piece which seems to be some sort of banner with some Chinese characters on it. As always, I cannot read Chinese, but if anybody in the comments wants to translate that for me, please do. And then there's a little ladder right here which leads up to the area where that yellow door is that allows the characters to get in and out of this part of the build. Next to that, there's one final tool shelf, and then the other docking area, which as I said is identical to the one I already showed you, just mirrored. Okay, but I think that's about all I have to say for the main build of this set, so now let's move on to the side builds. So here's the first side build, the Monkey Kid mech, and this is fine. It's definitely not as good as the Monkey Kid mech that comes in the Bone Demon from this year, but it's an okay bonus for this set, and I can imagine having fun with it when I was younger. The legs are in mini ball joints, so obviously pretty wide range of motion on them, as well as the feet. There's no actual knees, it's got these artificial knees that a lot of mechs have nowadays. And then the arms are also in ball joints, though it has hinges for the elbows. So it has an okay range of motion for the mech, not the best I've ever seen, but definitely not the worst. On the right arm you can see two brown fingers, which are just robot arm pieces. And then there's also two stud shooters on top of it. There's also this little wheel piece around the side for detailing. And then the right hand, it holds the staff, but the staff is not great at all. It doesn't stay in place, it's very loose. And you can't even wrap the fingers around it or anything to hold it in place. It just stays very loose no matter what you do. And I don't like that. I just don't think that's very fun, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't look good, it doesn't play well. I'm not sure why they did it like that. The staff's definitely done way better on the 2021 version of this mech. And then on the side of the arm, instead of that wheel piece, you have this clip right here which can hold Monkey Kid's normal staff while he's in the mech. I always appreciate when vehicles or mechs come with ways to hold the weapons, because I know as a kid, a lot of times if a vehicle didn't have that, I would end up losing the weapon when playing with it. So this way kids playing with this can actually keep track of the staff while Monkey Kid's in the mech. There's also two stickered pieces on the knees that are identical, large taser gun pieces out the top, and then the cockpit of the mech opens up like this, and you're able to slide MK right in. There's nothing to actually keep him in, there's no locking mechanism, he just closes up on top of him, but it keeps him in pretty firmly. I definitely prefer when there's locking mechanisms, but it's not bad. And then out the front, of course, there's the Monkey Kid logo as well as this design, and those are both stickers. Personally, not much to say about it. It's not my favorite. I'm probably going to leave it in the boat and never really touch it. But it's a fun inclusion for kids, and some people might like it more than I do. I just personally think this entire concept was done better in 2021. And then we have this little mini dragon horse boat for Mei, and this one is cute. One weird thing about it is she doesn't really attach to the vehicle in any way. She only holds on to the handlebars. There's no actual seat or anything for her to sit in, so that's a bit unfortunate. Also, as you saw, there's nowhere for her to hold her weapon, so you either have to leave it in the HQ or have her holding it very awkwardly while controlling the boat. But all that aside, I think this looks good. Very simple color scheme, just a little bit of bright green right there, some trans green. These horns at the top are very easy to rotate, so those go out of place very easily. And you can rotate the neck a little bit too if you want. But yeah, as a whole, I think this looks good. You have two stud shooters, of course. Not much else to say on this one other than it's a fun inclusion, and I like that you get vehicles for all the different characters in this set. And if you're curious, there's how Mei looks controlling it without holding her weapon. Definitely a lot better looking, it's just now, of course, she doesn't have a way to hold that weapon. Then we have Pigsy's little boat, and I like this one a lot more. This is super cute. It's got a tiny little pig face on it, right? So you can see the two little pig eyes right there, the ears at the top, and the snout right here. The snout can be moved up and down, but you're supposed to keep it at this little angle right here. There's two clips on the side to hold both Pigsy's weapons, so you have his pitchfork on this side and a stud shooter on this side. Studs for him to stand out the back, as well as a little steering wheel right here. I think this fits Pigsy's personality. Obviously, the pig theming is very cute, and I just really like this build. This is awesome. And then finally, in terms of side builds of the set, we have this little mini boat for the Demon Bull clones. And this is cute. I appreciate getting villain vehicles in sets like this, because that way you have something for them to fight against, even if it is a tiny, tiny little thing. There's a little fire cannon at the front, two seats to hold two Demon Bull clones. The one at the back controls the actual boat, while the one at the front controls the fire cannon. And if you remove them, you can get a better look at the vehicle. Two stud shooters right here, there's these control sticks to actually control the boat, and then a little bit of fire coming out the back to propel it. Not much else to say on this one. I like the classic LEGO camera piece right here. That's cool to see that's still being used, because I kind of thought that part was discontinued. One of my favorite parts as a kid, I like to build custom guns and whatnot using that part, so it's cool to see it's still in production. And yeah, this can be rotated up and down and moved side to side, of course. But yeah, that's about all I have to say for this one. So here are the first three minifigures in the set. We have MK, we have Mei, and we have Pigsy. These guys are all fairly good figures. MK, I've talked about him many times before because he's come in many sets before, but he is an overall very good figure. I love the level of detail in his legs with the dual molding and side leg printing. The torso is pretty good too, the orange jacket with the white shirt underneath. Not a huge fan of the headphone piece, but you can always take that off. And then this is one of the more common MK face prints, so that's not like the most exciting for a $170 set. But it's not much to complain about either. It is still a good face print that fits him well. So it's not like a huge deal, it's not the most rare or exclusive. Of course, he comes with the staff, as he always does. And because he's in like his full Monkey Kid outfit right here, he does have printing on his headband piece. As for Mei, this is her Season 1 design. This is my first time getting her Season 1 design. And the Season 2 design is definitely better, but I appreciate getting this, and I still think it looks good. I love the bright green printing on her torso, it looks super nice. And the reuse of, like, the Marvel, just generic, I think, this was Ant-Man or the Wasp helmet or whatnot. Regardless, whatever that piece was introduced for, it works really well here. And there's a look at her back torso print. She also comes with a hair piece, so if you want to swap that out, you can. And now that her helmet's off, you can also see her face print, and I really like this face print for her. It's simple, just a slight smile. But it's just a useful part. I think you can use this on your own original characters like very easily. And it captures her look from the show well enough. And then for her alternate face, very similar design except this time she's angry. And there's how that looks with the hairpiece. As for Pigsy, I don't believe this design is exclusive to the set. I believe it does come in one other set with the sand blue torso. And I've got the same opinion on this guy that I have on most Pigsy figures. I really like him. I think he's super cute, super funny looking. I think he could represent the character from the show a little bit better because he doesn't really capture Pigsy's personality from the show, which I wish he did. Specifically the fact that he doesn't have a mouth, he just has a snout. He just looks like a pig person, not Pigsy from the show, so that's a little disappointing to see. But that aside, it's just a really good minifigure. Like the torso print on this guy, this might be my least favorite of the Pigsy torso prints, but it's not bad by any means. And then of course he has the chef's hat. I also like the mid-legs with khakis printed on them. That's just a really useful part outside of Pigsy. And then in terms of weapons, he has this little hot dog cannon, which is just a stud shooter, and then he has his pitchfork, which he comes with in every set. Yeah, this guy's a pretty nice figure. Love the back torso print on him too, with the Pigsy's Noodles logo on it. The pink skin printing on his torso isn't printed as well as it could be. It's like a little bit off color, but it's not as egregious as it has been in like other sets, so it personally doesn't bother me too much. And then the next two figures in the set are Sandy and Mo. Obviously Sandy's a big fig, he's huge, and Mo's a cat, he's tiny. But I love both of these two. I've gone over them in other reviews from other Monkey Kid sets I've reviewed previously, but I'll just go over them again real quick. Love the color scheme on these two. The light blue mixed with the orange is just such a cool look. And I love how they match each other too, that's really cute. With Sandy, I love how he just has sweatpants on, that's just really funny to me, and then I also like his magenta shoes. He's got his necklace and everything too, yeah, just overall a pretty good figure. It'd be cool to see this guy updated to fit like the newer like Thanos design for big figs, but for what he is, he's really good. And of course he comes with the staff weapon, which he comes with in like almost every set he comes in. As for Mo, he is super cute and really, really funny. I love the mohawk on him, I love his angry little face, and he's got that tuft of fur right there, and the orange stripes on the side just tie it all together. Yeah, these two are both great figures, and even though they both come in other sets, it's still really nice to get them here, and they're both just really fun inclusions. And then for the final four minifigures in the set, we have General Ironclad, as well as 3 Demon Bull clones. And I've expressed my opinion on these guys before, but they are not the best. I don't mind the designs in theory, but the fact that they're all the same is just so boring to me. I'm not against like army building in theory, but a little bit of variance is nice. But the fact that all of them, including the General, literally have the same exact torso print and same exact head mold, the only difference with General Ironclad and just a generic guy is he has armor, a cape, and different colored arms and horns. But the torso design is exactly identical, and that's just really lame to me. I feel like they could have made him more unique. Like, I know obviously there's supposed to be clones in universe, but can't they wear like different clothes? Yeah, it's just a little lame to me. I think more variants would just be more fun. But that aside, it is cool that you get 4 of them in this set. General Ironclad is cool to get because he doesn't come in like every single set, so it is cool to get him here. He comes with this little like flame axe right there, and I like his armor piece. That's a pretty cool part. And I love whenever we get like cloth cape pieces, and this one is pretty cool. The next Demon Bull clone comes with like this jetpack backpack thing. This is an interesting build. It uses 2 like large wheel pieces. It's a little bit big and oversized, but I don't mind it. It's a fun thing to play with, and if you don't like it, you can just take it off of him. And then the other 2 are the ones that control the boat, so they don't have anything special about them. There's what they look like with the masks removed. I'm not going to take all of them apart because obviously they're all exactly the same. And there's what the back torso print looks like on all of them. Honestly, I do like that back torso print a lot. I think it's a lot nicer than the front. It's just a really cool design, and I love that silver printing. But yeah, I don't really have anything more to say about these guys. It's cool to get so many to like add to an army, but in terms of figures themselves, they're just like, okay. So overall, would I recommend this set? I love this set, I really do. It has got to be one of my favorite playsets in years. And I know technically it's a vehicle, not a playset, but this is like everything I always wanted LEGO to be as a kid. Because that's the reason I prefer playsets to vehicles, is playsets, like I feel like there's only one thing you can do with them. You can put the minifigure inside and you can move it around. But this serves as a vehicle for the characters, but it also just works as a playset. There is so much interior space. I've never seen this much interior space on a vehicle before. And that's just so awesome to me. The fact that you could fit a big fig in the build, and he can also go like walk walk around it. Like, there's multiple places where you could fit in. But if a big fig can fit in there, you know how many regular minifigures that means? There's just so much room for imagination and play, and I adore that. Minifigure selection here is pretty good too, especially for Monkie Kid. You get the entire main hero cast, which is awesome. So you get MK, Mei, Pigsy, Sandy, and Mo. So if you're a fan of the show, like, you get every single good guy here, so that's really cool to see. The villain figures could be a little bit better. Obviously, it is nice that you get 3 Doomable clones as well as General Ironclad. But if this set came with Red Sud or Lady Iron Fan, the minifigure selection would literally be perfect. But I don't want you to think like I'm saying the minifigure selection is bad. It's definitely very, very good. I just think it's a little bit lame that you're paying $170 and you don't get either of the main villains. But that's sort of made up for the fact that you get the entire main hero cast. And then we come to the price point. Obviously, this set is $170. It is definitely worth $170. I think this is a great playset for $170. But at the end of the day, $170 is still a lot of money, and I know there's a lot of people out there that would probably rather buy like tons of other stuff before this. And I don't think this is like a must-have set. If you love playsets as much as I do and you're like a big enough fan of LEGO Monkie Kid, I think you will adore this set. But if you don't have a ton of money and you're not like the world's biggest Monkie Kid fan, like I think there's probably sets you might like better than this one. But like this set is everything I could want from LEGO just in a set in general, and it is just genuinely like an excellent set. I am blown away by this set, and I cannot believe I was not a fan of it initially. It's just really, really good, really, really well done. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, let me know if I missed anything in this review, because this set was massive. I do not doubt that I probably missed something somewhere. So if there's like a part of the set that I did not touch on, let me know in the comments. But as for this video, I think that's about going to do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed, please press like, subscribe if you're new. I do LEGO videos like this every single day, so if you subscribe, you'll be the first to see them. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.